All right, folks, we are live. What's up, everyone, and good morning. Right now, we are looking pretty much close to a correction. So I kind of wanna highlight a few things, right? A lot of the cryptocurrencies that we know, we love, we've supported, we've traded, we've invested in, are doing extremely well. And I don't want to be a wet blanket and kind of say that the bull run has ended. Whether is it for the main core cryptocurrencies such as BTC or Ethereum, or the top 10, top 20 cryptocurrencies, in terms of market value, I anticipate that they're going to be higher, right? And I think everyone can clearly agree that buying the dip has been extremely profitable, right? So Lawyer Man has already said buy on dips. But I think we are coming to the point where we are too trained on looking at the short-term volatility as opposed to the long-term. Would you agree? Because in the past 1.5 months, okay, today is the 15th of 15th of February. From clearly January till today, every time if you buy the 1 hour to the 4 hours, you would more or less make money in less than a few days or within the 24-hour time frame. You would see it recover and go either higher or at least to a profitable position. But I kind of want to put a little bit of some safety, safety, maybe what do you call it, maybe a little bit of a break, right? Like jam the brakes a little bit and kind of get you thinking. Okay, it's not to stop you from your buying, but it's more of to kind of make you think, is your portfolio ready for a dip, a crash? Now, how much allocation do you have, or how much ammunition you have? Now, folks who are extremely rich, you don't really have to worry, right? In terms of you can either get in more funds later on. But I'm more concerned about the folks who don't have much money to work with. So here are my thoughts, right? So if you've been, I can safely say that your portfolio, depending on how aggressive you've been, okay, now there are folks who are all in into a lot of different things and they've done pretty well, okay? But my question to you is, do you know how to manage that? Because the next time that you push, say for example, your portfolio was 4 figures when you first started in the beginning of January, and you went all in on a cryptocurrency that went 10x. Suddenly your portfolio is a 5-figure portfolio. Okay, so you definitely feel very encouraged and you think that this market will continue to trend higher and be forever favorable for you. But what happens in a correction? What happens if suddenly the whole market pulls back drastically? Are you in the right allocations to kind of help you or prevent you from losing too much of your stack? Does that kind of make sense? So I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people are now in that euphoria mode. They feel like I would say that the right term is God mode, right? You can't get it wrong. This dude who's on YouTube, he doesn't have many subscribers. Nobody really watches his channel. I'm not gonna listen to him. I'm gonna watch everyone else who has been shilling the market, pushing the market upwards. I like them, right? I don't care about portfolio. I want to go all in on whatever coin this next YouTuber is going to tell me, and I'm going to 5x, 10x my existing amount. So that's where the mistake comes in. And a lot of people will eventually come to learn that, right? Because when they put in all in each coin, and when I mean all in is literally the whole stack, guys. It's not like they even know how to allocate to fiat. They don't even cash out from the market in fear of short-term capital gains. So they don't know what a portfolio is. They don't even know how to do proper risk management. And this is the part where I think a lot of people are so drastically lacking. And until today, I don't see many channels talking about it, because everyone just talks about either Bitcoin or Ethereum just to be on the safe side, and no one is providing that financial education, because most people don't have a portfolio. Most people don't really manage their finances on their own. They're always relying on a financial advisor that is kind of so-called guiding them, or those who are a little bit more savvy are at least allowing robo-advisory platforms to kind of take over after answering a set of 20 questions. But the market is just so dynamic that if you allow your risk profile, if your risk profile is more or less similar, at least from a certain age group to a certain age group, say 25 to 30 is kind of like, okay, a good gap. The moment you get married, you have heavy liabilities, you have a mortgage, you have children, who are going to tertiary education, right, to university. All these things change and no one is advising you. You're figuring it out on your own, guys. Okay, I know for a fact that a lot of folks do not have the skill or do not know how to identify their own personal risk profile. They think that they are high risk, right? But in actual fact, they are supposed to be taking low risk managed in positions. That's the problem, right? But because now everyone is wanting to get their money money into the space, they are very excited. People are just excited. They are emotionally driven. It's not an actual organic demand. Well, it's kind of organic, but it's a herd instinct. You know what I mean? It's not like suddenly you see everyone starting to plow money in. And the worst thing is that mass media, right, is pushing articles out saying that everything is going higher. Everything can only go higher. So suddenly you're like, oh damn, BTC at 48,000. Okay, because the projection says that, or this article from so and so, just name anyone, CNBC, BBC, whoever is covering crypto at the moment, right? Or worse still, Squawk Box, if they just the mere mention, and you are like someone who still watches all that, right? You still kind of follow because you're following the equity markets. You are kind of like, oh, okay, I'll throw about maybe 5% at this point. Now, if you have 5% to throw, in the grand scheme of things, you're not going to get hurt, right? But you are going to see for a fact that there will be a correction. That 5% could easily lose 50% or more. That's the truth. Okay, anybody has been in the space like I have since 2016 or earlier will know that Bitcoin goes through multiple bull and bear market cycles, and the bull runs are extremely fast and the bear markets are extremely long. So this should be no different, because right now we have parabolic activity across the board, right, guys? It's parabolic, but no one is wanting to jam the brakes because no one likes to be wrong. So don't worry, since I have such a small puny channel with very little viewers, I will be the one that will say that we're gonna have a correction at some point. So there are people who are saying, oh Ryan, you said that there was gonna be a correction at 30,000, didn't happen. At 40,000, didn't happen. Now we're gonna go to 50,000, probably even 100,000, and you're gonna be wrong again. You're gonna cause people to pull their money out too early. Yes, folks, I do not care, because at the end of the day, I care enough to tell you that you need to retain your stack. You need to pull back and hold your stack of hard-earned profits, right, guys? At the end of the day, whether you're running on free roll money or whether you are already you're new, okay, you literally just joined like last 3 months and you've made at least 1x to 2, no, not 1x, sorry, what does that mean? 2x to 3x on your US dollars. I think you're already doing exceptionally well. You have to think for the fact that if you were to put your money elsewhere, could you do exactly the same? I'm not talking about anything that is leveraged. I'm not talking about options trading. I'm not asking you to go on a high leverage on Forex or anything like that. I'm talking about just plain vanilla. You placed and park your money into certain cryptocurrencies that either you already know about, you kind of research about it, and then after that, you basically have that capital gain. So my question is, what's holding you back? And I know what holds everyone back, especially folks in the US. Your short-term capital gains. You don't want to give away that 40%. I know it's painful, and there seems to be very little workaround unless your account is below 20,000. That means if you have 20,000 profits or less, don't quote me, this is what I heard from folks who are in the US. As long as your profits are less than 20,000, I don't think it's taxable. But please double, triple check, because each state has their own respective taxation laws on their citizens. That's why in the US, to me, I'm so sorry guys, whatever you say when you have a land of the free and all that, you're not free. Singapore, we don't have any capital gains tax, okay? Zero. So in terms of capital gain tax, we don't have it. If you are trading and you have a you basically have a full-time employment and you're trading, it's non-taxable as well. We don't tax our citizens on any kind of even short-term capital gains unless you are a full-time trader, unless you are running a hedge fund or you are running a brokerage. Yes, all that is taxable, but that's under business. Under personal, no. There's no taxation. So guys, I think it's more of you being smart. Okay, the idea of this video is maybe I should put it out front and blunt. Be smart, right? There's no shame in taking profit. I do not know why everyone is thinking like taking profit is like a sinful thing. Let me ask you a question, guys. I'm gonna just put a question out. All these tokens, can you actually do anything with them? Are you skilled enough to create smart contracts? Okay, if you are, then holding stacks of it is good. Now the next thing, if you are someone who is planning to stake Ethereum, you're planning to stake ADA, you're planning to stake, whatever coin, seriously, whatever coin, and you have already allocated an X amount of funds or funny money to put into this market, and you want to kind of test it out. Are you that kind of person? If you're okay and you've already done your risk analysis for yourself, then you're fine. Okay. Now the next thing is, are you coming in with borrowed money? Are you coming in literally already leveraged? That means you took a loan from the bank. You already took a personal loan, right? You borrowed money from your friends and family. Are you in that situation and you're already ahead, but you don't want to cash out because you want to have more money for yourself and you still have to return them your capital plus profit? Are you in that situation? Okay. Now the last and the fourth situation, right, are the ones that have been building long-term, deep in the money positions. In fact, actually the fourth scenario is the best, but I want to address it the last because I have no concern for these people. This includes myself, who have been running on free money for the longest time, who have cashed out ever so often, in fact, sometimes too often, that we miss out on market opportunities. But we're not here to gain on every damn thing. We are here to monetize, meaning take out from the market that has been extremely profitable, paying off our debt, clearing our short to long-term liabilities, setting aside funds for us to use. Now, cash is not sinful, guys. Having too much cash is bad, but having enough, the right amount of cash to kind of tide through multiple bear markets is a very, very good and very good feeling. It's a very good feeling, guys, to have that liberation to do whatever you want. When people don't have their jobs, right? You are eating steak dinners, foie gras, and basically Hokkaido scallops, while everyone else is scrimping and saving just to get by. Do you see the difference in that, right? Having the ability to still have a nice car to drive your family around in, having a nice home to stay while someone else is worrying and wondering whether they can even pay their next mortgage, right? This is the main difference, guys. This is the main difference why I do what I do. And I teach people. I don't care what other signal group found a 5x, 10x. I don't give a shit about that because I'm here to do the long game. I'm here to play the long game with everyone. And I will always be here. Now, I do less videos because I feel that since everyone is a god, there's no need to do a video. There's no need for me to do a recommendation, right? That's the thing. So right now, it's more of, are you in these scenarios? If you are, have you already made plans for a correction? If you have, great. If you have not, start rethinking, rebalancing. All right, guys. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I want to go into a few charts, go into a few questions. If you have them, quickly ask me because I do not know why my wife is calling. Usually it's to ask to buy breakfast or something, but ask away. If you have questions, please type it out. The next 15 minutes is very, very crucial. I want to do a little bit of a Q&A. Don't ask me about specific coins because there are literally too many coins out there in the market. I've always had a very streamlined portfolio, guys. Less than 5 cryptocurrencies. I never ever go and venture out. If I'm in a long-term position, I kind of stay in it until I exit and then I move on to something else. I never ever build upon and have 50 coins, 100 coins. I just don't have the capacity to look at 1,000 coins or 500 coins or 100 coins. I don't. Maybe you do, but I don't. I have only one pair of eyes and one brain, so I can't really function that well. But maybe you guys are just more multi-talented. Give me a second, guys. Ask the questions. I need to answer this call. So I'm going to mute the mic for a bit. Yeah, hold on, guys. Just ask the questions if you have any. Okay, sorry guys, I am back. Okay, so sorry, this camera has been tilted a little bit too high. Okay, so okay, Mark Hudson, thank you so much, my friend. I think you've been watching for quite a while. Glad you're well prepared. Alt's getting pounded right now, FYI. Yes, Bruce, that's why I'm saying. You know, I think the good thing is that I think a lot of the people who watch me are very, very long term. They're very, very long term. You know, they know I suck at providing consistent content. But when I do put out content, at least it's you know, it's favorable. I'm on a 7-figure free roll from 2014 F pre-sale. I took out a bunch in 2018. I'm staking half in the remaining F and keeping the other half liquid for this year's bull run. So whatever. Yep. Okay. So all good. Okay. Lawyer man. Yep. I mean, expected, right? If you are one of the ancient F pre-ICO, and you know, at the time, right, a lot of people just didn't know exactly what Ethereum was. But you know what? Putting in some money, right? A little bit of money would yield you so much, because I think Ethereum's pre-sale was what, 30 cents? So if you had the smarts to kind of put in whatever, right? Or at least just hold to even $150 to $200, you would already have sold already. I think pre-sale, there was even a period of time, because I got in Ethereum at about $9 to $12, right? So I got in between $9 to $12, and yeah, even $7, I still remember buying Ethereum. But I'm not a pre-sale guy. I just literally made money just trading the market. Not like I did many ICOs. I did Humanic, I did PundiX, and that was it, guys. I didn't even do any other ICO throughout the whole ICO craze, because I just didn't feel right putting my money into an ICO. And to me, I already knew that ICO just basically means a startup, right? They're just trying to raise money through the ICO, right? And then in hopes of, you know, getting enough funding to further their development and tide them through operationally. But you know, a lot of people actually scammed, right? Instead of actually continuing their development. And that's the part, right? We want to figure stuff out. You always have a stack to want to work with, and everybody knows that, you know, ICOs are high risk. You go through you go through the middleman, and the middleman can run away with all your precious Ethereum or Bitcoin. You know, that has happened, man. My 600 is now over 3 million. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. Because Lawyer Man, was it basically Lawyer Man, was it basically 30 cents? Was that correct? Was Ethereum 30 cents at the pre-sale? Ah, yes, 30 cents. Okay, so he did answer 30 cents. Okay, yeah, there you go. So so 600 becomes 3 million, guys. But you must understand, from Lawyer Man's perspective, take note, he entered at 2014. Now today is 2021. Do you think for a fact that you would have held throughout this whole period? Would you have the strength to hold? You see? So Lawyer Man probably is a lawyer, right? And $600 to him is peanuts. You know, unless he's saying that he's not a lawyer by profession, because, you know, professionally, if you're doing well in life, yeah, why do you need the money? His gross is anywhere from 300K and above, right? A year. So I don't think, you know, if he's saying if professionally he's a lawyer, then yeah, all good. But is everyone a lawyer? I don't think so. So if you are not, and you are probably, you know, pulling in minimum wage or slightly above minimum wage, and you made $1 million in crypto, guys, have the common sense to shave at least, right, 70 to 80%. You know what I'm saying? Shave 70 to 80%. pay some short to long-term capital gains on your positions, right? Find a taxation officer to work with you, right? Advise you at least, and do the best you can, right? I don't think IRS is gonna give you a hefty fine for you trying to pay them what you owe them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were being very honest. Don't say you don't know. Don't try to weed your way around. I mean, if you already know how, then you do it. Yeah. I was a poor lawyer. All right, man. That's it. So, okay, better get to the questions. When do you foresee? Oh, okay. My dear Bang Bang Boogie, I cannot foresee anything. Okay, I'm not a fortune teller, although I'm Asian, right? I'm not a fortune teller. Okay, I don't prepare for a crash. I don't anticipate. We are still putting in positions into the market. Okay, let me be clear. I'm not not doing anything. I'm still trading the market. Whatever prices that are relevant, whatever dip that happens, we are all still trading within Protégé Pro and Legacy. We are still trading. We are not like pulling back and worried or whatever. We still push, right? Because we've already prepared our ammunition for whatever circumstance. Now, the next thing is, okay, so I don't, as I mentioned, I don't want to predict. I will just react to the market situation. So I cannot give you a time. Okay. You say you suck at short-term calls and excel at long-term. Yeah. Oh yes. So I usually say that because I'm always short-term wrong and long-term correct. Yeah. So yeah, Bruce, I haven't I? You are in the group. You should know. Okay. Let me see. What's up, Big Connect? Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Did you sell out or you still holding? Huh? Hodling? Sell out? Sorry, I don't. Wait, I think you're just talking about Big Connect in separately, but I've never had Big Connect. But then again, hodling. Well, okay, I hodl Ethereum. I'm not into the Bitcoin. I'm into Ethereum, right? So I thankfully went in at about $740 for Ethereum. So I have a core portfolio that I don't touch. So that position, not proud of it, okay guys? I'm not proud of it. I could have bought Ethereum at lower prices, but I was just trading the altcoin space that has done very, very well. We were in Uni, we were in Sushi, we were in Curve. All have done very, very well. We did a little bit of Algo as well. We did Theta back in Theta before it even hit $3. But of course, naturally, there are folks who held on. They did much better than I did. I exited at 150 when it was 70 cents. Exited at 150, that kind of thing, So right now, in terms of stuff, everything has been streamlined. Ethereum core holdings, we have very little in DeFi because I think the DeFi space is too hot at the moment. Whether there's any continuity, I have yet to decide because once Bitcoin hits a certain psychological threshold, let's say 50,000, right? That's a big number. So the question is, who else is buying, right? It's always about the market psychology. Who else is still willing to buy Bitcoin at 50,000, right? So if Bitcoin is bought more by the strong hands at 50,000, the likelihood of a dip is very low. But I suspect that a lot of the masses are buying this at the high. So they are not the strong hands, they are the weak hands. Hence, they will sell based on herd instinct or pressure or emotional, based on emotional decisions. Whereas the strong hands have been buying way lower. 10K, 15K, 20K. They are not gonna budge. So if you want to say if there an anticipation of how much will the market drop by, I would say that 25,000, 50% would be maximum. I don't really see it going back down to 10K, 15K. It just doesn't sound very right already. Because like I said, it's already institutional. Truly institutional. We're not even hiding the fact that it's institutional. The institutions are actually making it the institutions are making it clear that they are buying up, right? So Tesla already is the latest addition, right? MicroStrategy bought, and because of that, their stock price actually rose from 700 to 1,002. I don't know how high is MicroStrategy at the moment, but because Bitcoin went up, so does their overall valuation or their holdings on their assets. That's what made their stock actually boost up. So that's a good thing. Okay. The next. Okay. Sorry, I have a question about. Uh, right, what is a Vertcoin? Okay, I'm sorry, Chris, I can't answer you on specific cryptocurrencies. Because like I said, I'm not going into too many new cryptocurrencies. So you kind of like have to just manage your own. Okay, so a very straightforward thing. I can't answer on specific cryptocurrencies if it's not within our portfolio, right? And our portfolio is dedicated only for our members. I will not want to shield because firstly, why I don't want to shield? Because I don't want to be in that scenario where, okay, you're telling the masses, right? Because you want the masses to buy up whatever the private group already has. So other than Ethereum, I don't want to mention anything else. Whatever that's been doing well publicly, like for example, Curve Sushi and Uni, that's a given. They have been doing well. So that one was definitely in our portfolio. So straightforward. Uni was our pick since $3. Curve was a little bit slower, about 70 cents, 80 cents. Sushi quite late also, around maybe $5-6. Okay, so these are our three picks. We have rode the bull market with them. We have since reduced or exited the positions completely. So we're not really wanting to hold anymore. Not because we don't see any long-term potential, but I just feel that so far, the token prices that I just mentioned of the three, they have not been able to breach the new highs. So very quickly, Uni has not been confidently wanting to break $20. Okay, it holds $20 very well, much like Link, but any big correction on BTC, I would say that the whole these three would be one of the first to sell. Sushi just recently got added to Coinbase custody. Okay, so Sushi couldn't break 1660. It hit the high of 17, I think, 17 something, but it couldn't really stay above the $15 mark. I think as long as it can hold the $15 point, that's very encouraging, but I feel that there's more downside. Just a personal thought. Okay. Curve is around the $3 region, right? So since they are around the $3 region, could they correct to $2, $2.50? That's still the range that I'm kind of looking at, but I don't know whether it's sustainable. Stuff like that. Now, US dollar tether, I know that there's a lot of FUD around US dollar tether, the non-transparency, they don't really print one for one. Guys, for now, there are alternatives. I think the folks at Coinbase are using USDC, okay, and the folks like myself, we still use USDT. And I know that people are kind of shifting, diversifying their risks or their exposure to that stablecoin by going into BUSD or maybe HUSD or GUSD if you are on Gemini. So stuff like that, that's okay, guys. You do whatever you need to feel comfortable. I'm not here to tell you what's the right thing. You do what is comfortable for you and for your risk profile. Okay. All right. Analrak Shitol. Okay, I'm ready for more than a dip. I'm expecting a complete government worldwide ban akin to Ripple, which will bring the price down to 20 cents. Okay. What are your thoughts on the developer coin tokens like Eos and Quantum? Okay. Okay. Right. Let me see. Okay, so in terms of Eos and Quantum, wow, Quantum has been doing pretty well of late because they launched their Chi swap. Okay, looks good, but obviously if people who bought within at the all-time high 30 to 40, you know what? As long as there is okay. Now since we are on the topic of decentralized exchanges, guys, can I ask you a very direct question? Remember the number of ICOs that we had? So now we have a lot of DeFi solutions. We have a lot of lending platforms. We have already too many DEXs. Do you really think we need that many? Like, I mean, do you think so? Like, I mean, if you already use Uni, then just use Uni, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a demand for non-ETH exchanges. So I think that was brought up by a previous topic, right? A non-ETH exchange, because now the gas fees are just too high. People who are trading smaller amounts will want to look for alternatives. So that's all good. That could be a secondary team play. But the main play will always be the FDEXs, just so you know. So if there's a proper transition and there's proper scalability, the gas fees can be brought down, all the main F base dexes are gonna do very, very well. So please take note and just bear that in mind. You want to understand that liquidity providers want to move towards the dexes that provide you the best fees. You're not wanting to get a small piece of a small pie. You want to have a piece of a big pie. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that answers your question. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee, guys. Been talking too much. Okay, so, but okay. Okay, Totoro. Hey Ryan, are you still interested in Eos and Tezos? I remember you talking about them like 1.5 years ago. Well, Totoro, okay, there is not right now. Right now, as much as when it goes to trading, I have no preference. I have no preference. I'm willing to trade anything that has a good amount of volume. I have as long as their chart patterns and resistance levels and Phipps levels are all very, very favorable to what I'm very used to looking at, it's good to go. But okay, fundamentally, you know what? I haven't been reading too much about EOS anymore. I think Cardano is a big miss for me, right? I kind of followed the whole Ouroboros development, and I am pretty disappointed in myself that I didn't build enough positions in ADA. I decided to switch to the whole Uniswap. I went, okay, so there's always a line. There's always a line in my head. A line just means a decision. So my decision was to go on theme, which was towards Uniswap. So I dedicated much of my capital to Uniswap instead of building positions in ADA. But in terms of capital gains, I did definitely better in Uniswap. But had I built my positions since 3 cents, when ADA was 3 cents, definitely ADA would have been a better play. So these are things that I always go for the fact that what's tangible, what's an actual number that I can work with. I cannot always work with a number that is fictitious, right, or speculative. I try to reduce that kind of level of information in my portfolio. I would prefer to have real actual numbers and revenue, or at least something that can link to a tangible intrinsic value in the long term for me to make that decision. Does that make sense? So that's kind of reason why I can't go for EOS and XTZ. XTZ has been, of course, spoken by one of the very, very more popular channels, which is Cryptocurrency Markets, Tizen. It's okay, right? It started to recover. It did take a dip, but then it's starting to recover again. And you know what? As long as he's kind of pushing it, I'm not endorsing anything. I don't have any XTZ anymore. I was in at $1 and then I exited at 5 and I never looked back again. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes you just have a good feeling about something, you go with it, but the moment that momentum passes, you just have to move on. You know what I mean? So that's just how it is. Okay, so Bitcoin is like a cum stain in a brothel to the banks. All right, that's a good one. Yeah, it is, you know. When you think about it, right, they only can tax you on it. They are now even offering Bitcoin derivative products to the very new private clients, okay? They're testing it out with the rich, okay? And yeah, the rich want exposure, but the very smart rich have already owned Bitcoin a long time ago. You see, they're not gonna buy the derivative or the fakey equivalent. If you know how to buy Bitcoin, you know how to buy Bitcoin. You don't need a banker. You know what I'm saying? Are you still bullish on Hopi tokens? I remember you shitting this a long time ago. Well, Hopi tokens did very well, right? Finally, I am now, Chris, glad that you brought that up. So for the longest time, Hopi has not been doing well at all. Like, compared to Binance, it has always been like the extremely small, youngest little brother. You know what I mean? Like the small ass. It's like Hopi has just been like extremely frustrating. They are making decent amounts of revenue, doing really well in terms of country penetration, moving and setting up their footprint in various countries. But their token didn't move. Only this year, guys, the Hopi Pool token finally, turned a very nice profit. and Hopi tokens also turn a very nice profit. So those who were able to get allocations or bought, right, have already done decently well. Of course, naturally, if you talk about the same time frame and if based on price, had you decided to go with BNB made you tons of money, whereas Hopi just recently made people money. But then again, like I said, what did that equate to? What made that decision to hold or to buy? The revenue. The revenue, guys, because you know when the exchange has a healthy amount of volume transacted per day, withdrawals per day, right? Multiple transactions happening for withdrawals and of course for lending, they are able to provide lending services because they are lending for people who are wanting to trade on margin. They are charging an interest. All these are revenue streams. It can be roughly calculated, and you know for a fact that they every time have a monthly token burn. That also reduces the circulating supply. And yeah, things are looking pretty good. You see, that's what I meant, guys. Is at least when I discuss this with you, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, like if you run a business, you know that every day if you sell an X amount of things, you get an X amount of money plus your profit back to cover, and profit, right? To cover your expenses on the goods or items that you bought. Just think of it simply as that. You know what I'm saying? That's business for you. And that is, to me, very important piece of information. Whereas I can't advise you whether a code is sound because I'm not a coder. I cannot tell you that this new project has very sound code on the GitHub. I'm not an Ivan on tech. Neither am I, what's his name? Michael from Box Mining. I'm not that. I am a banker, or at least an ex-banker that no longer needs to be in banking. I just basically trade the crypto market and advise my clients on, the cryptocurrency market and building a portfolio. That's all I do. You know what I mean? Yeah, but other than that, been playing Magic. Been very, very happy. My Magic portfolio is doing pretty well. Just on a side note, entered in 2019. That portfolio has already doubled in value ever since I got in. Not too bad. For an old 27-year-old game, I doubled my portfolio on that. So, yeah. Yep, okay. So, guys, I think that kind of wraps it up for the stream. Love you guys. Just be safe, be smart, allocate properly. And of course, if you felt that this content was useful and fruitful for you, just give it a thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to smash the like button. Have some nice comments, guys, like nice comments, no spammy comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel. See you guys.